because I wish I knew 15 years ago that I was so accurate and so right, and then it was worse than I even thought. I wish I would have done more, because they got really bad plans for this country. I've broken it down. I've researched it from every angle. They are planning to completely shut the economy off and just arrest people, everything. And a lot of folks are like, well, I know, I'm going to cower. Well, that's how they win. We can't just do this. And, you know, the money's all racing out of the country. The people that help do this, the people that help sell us down the river, they're all just exiting as fast as they can for years. How about we just wake up? How about we virally spread the news, this is illegitimate, and say no, and call Congress and say, yes, impeach Obama. Yes, yes, we're not under the UN. You know, Ron Paul has tried, and he's educated a lot of people, but I told you there's election fraud, and there's these articles in Politico like, Ron Paul's advisors don't know why they're not winning, because you're being cheated. But going back to Joshua, and then we'll go to Dustin, and then that's it for calls. And I didn't even get to most of the other news because this is just such big stuff. But everything else I had tied into it, I'll be covering it tonight, 7 o'clock. It's going to be a huge news show tonight. Going back to Joshua and then to Dustin, who's been holding for like an hour, U.S. Army. Joshua is a major in the U.S. Army. I was jumping in and hyperventilating. Specifically, though, tell us about what they do whenever a state talks about secession, what the Brigade Homeland kicks into.
Well, the last time that somebody said anything about secession, I remember being at home, and I got an email, a phone call, a text message, pretty much all at the same time, being, get your crap, get ready to go, we're going to have to meet up with the colonel, and so I did. My buddy and I were like, okay, what's going on? And so, okay, we're going to have to get ready. There's talk of secession. We need to see what happens, because if this happens, it's go time. And I remember a young lieutenant looking back, actually, who made the comment, yeah, it's about time. Finally, we start showing people who's boss. And it's like, are you freaking kidding me? But that's actually...
Now let's be clear, because this is actually in the John Warren Defense Authorization Act. It says insurrection by the population, the states, or legislatures. Well, the states have a right to secede. That's on record in many state constitutions, but it's also there in the common law. That's what happened with the colonies. But Perry just did that for political effect, and you're saying you're in Oklahoma that immediately they were saying get the tanks ready, get them on the backs of the trains, we're going to Texas. I mean, right there, that is such an incredible piece of news. But then, of course, I'm sure the phone call was made, and Perry's like, no, it's a total joke. But there you are in Oklahoma, Army. You guys were ready to invade Texas if it tried to secede.
Bingo. Actually, it's not just me. It was the National Guard was ready to move to the border. Active duty from Fort Sill was ready to move. I know that we have Tinker Air Force Base here, and their bombers were actually not their bombers, but their interceptors were actually put on high alert to prepare for actions if anything were to happen.
And again, oh man, I gotta just have days with military callers more often. The stuff, because you know what, I've got all this data. I know what you're saying is true because it's in the Defense Act. But imagine we've got foreign banks openly overthrowing the country. In control. They're the traitors. They're telling Congress you have no authority. And then if the states ever try to pull out of the fake New World Order and reconstitute the Republic, they're going to bring the military in. And you know what? I say with the TSA, the Fed said, we'll run blockades with F-16s, no aircraft in Texas, if you don't let us grab your genitals. I mean, that was in the news. I say, good. You know what? Make them act like a bully.